Thank you for joining us. This is Footprints, and welcome back to the program. Now, you know who we are talking about, Mr. Ken Bediako. We call him Uncle Ken. Now, he has so many books to his credit, books that would keep the stories of Ghana sports with particular reference to football together. I have one book here, which the complete history of Ghana Football League, and the reference era is 1958 to 2012. So this will be the period of Matra Makwe, when we're trying to see whether we can also play the formation of the league, amateur league, transcending the amateur into the professional league, and he captures everything in this book. Now, he is not a research paper. This is a book that captures what he has witnessed on many occasions. He was a writer and a journalist, worth his salt. Uncle Ken, it's good to see you. I am very happy to see you. We have spoken on the phone, because of Jojo. So but we are happy to be in your home.
Okay. You are most welcome.
So what do you do now these days?
These days I'm on retirement.
Yes.
Just watching.
So you are on retirement for the second and third time.
Finally.
Finally.
But I've been writing a column for a friend of mine.
Okay.
Custodian.
Oh, right. On sports?
On sports, on football.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
But
so tell me, Ken Bediako, where are you? You're an Akan, right?
Yes.
From
Amanokrom.
Oh, so you're Kwapim.
My father comes from Amanokrom and my mother from Mampong.
Full Kwapim.
Full Kwapim. So I come from the middle. Abutachi is the middle. So.
Okay. And so how was schooling like growing up?
My father was a head teacher. Mm-hmm. So we were moving from town to town.
In the same general area or
no.
Regions, across regions?
Across regions. In fact, we started from Amanokro, 1946. We went to Agogo.
Asante Agogo.
For 3 years. From there, we came to Mpraiso.
Mpraiso?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mpraiso. From Mpraiso, we went to Akwesihu, also.
Akwesihu.
That's about 10 miles from
Nkoko
area. Then from Akwesihu to Achim Odan.
But those days, Odan was a big place to be.
Yes, that was the last post. He went on retirement.
Okay.
1960.
Yeah. And so when did you...
Incidentally, that was when
You also started your...
I completed my second education at Boca State College.
Oh, okay. So while you were in Odan, you were traveling to
Citi, yes.
So you go through Asamai or what?
I went to Swedru at that time.
That's Aguna Swedru. And then you have to go through
Asamankesi, yes.
That's across.
Yes, across. Then.
And then you use that route and you are there.
You are there. Dread my stay very much.
Did you take part in any sports when you were in school?
Yes, I was playing hockey, table tennis. But I played hockey and table tennis for school.
Wow.
But as for cricket and all this,
they were too fast for you. Good. So, which year would this be?
That was the
years in secondary school.
From 1956 to 1960.
56 to 60. Okay. Yeah. Now, within this period, were you aware of the direction of Ghana politics at the time?
Oh yes.
You remember anything?
Yeah, Chebi is I would say a hot spot.
Yeah.
Especially in 1958, we were in school when we had noises. Kokubaku say ugly noises.
Ugly noises, yeah.
Then we were told that the police had come to remove the Ochinyi. So that they came, those vans.
As in unseat him?
Unseat him.
Wow.
Because we had read, and then Osajifu had said that the chiefs will run away and leave their sandals behind. So to unseat him, I understand was
challenging Kwame
Nkrumah. So on Citi. So when they came in, what is called a go inside.
Yeah, go inside. Yeah, that KG.
Yeah. So they took him away, and they banned him for 60 kilometers, from Citi. Yeah.
Wow.
So he was in Accra. Spent time with his brother, J.B. Dankwa. Wow. But I got to know this because I had
later.
In Accra.
Wow. So students, you didn't protest?
No.
You couldn't
it was in town. We just heard it.
Wow. So after school, what did you do?
After school, that is in January 1961, I was a clerical officer at the Electricity Corporation.
Oh, right.
And then in school, I had planned to be a journalist.
Journalist, okay.
Yeah. Because we had a school newsletter, the Buscodian. Actually, we took over from our seniors, the late Yabacho Forever. They were seniors, so we were doing it.
Yeah.
And I had a column, these foolish things.
So the whole writing thing has been with you since you were in school, man. So at which point did you finally get into journalism?
Yes, I was at the Electricity Corporation office, and fortunately, a classmate of mine, Eugene Thompson, had got appointment at the graphic sports desk. And then he gave me information that the graphic were looking for
writers.
young writers.
Okay.
Because at that time they had Kofi Bedu was the boss there. Then he had left to join Ghanaian Times. And then Wallace Johnson too had left, leaving Sambo and him, and Sambo and him too had left. So there was
were all
there.
So
they did a Kofi Bedu.
Were they all sports writers?
Yes, Kofi Bedu is the greatest sports writer.
Yeah, I mean, I know the name Kofi Bedu connected to graphic.
Yeah.
Did he? Is the same person who became the managing director? Okay, yeah.
The same person. In fact, he started the football revolution with Ohinjan in the early 80s when we were in school.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a great sports writer and a great politician now.
Nice.
So, as I was saying, I had information that the graphic were looking for young people to train, because when the elders became popular, they left. So I was lucky. I got information, I went there. Then the sports editor asked me, "Are you interested in sports?" "Oh, I am." "Sure, you do understand sports?" I said, "I do." "Have you been following sports?" "Oh, yes." At that time, we had this National Day, Founders Day games in September in honor of Osajifo. Ohinjan had this National Day games. So I had gone there to watch. I was interested in sports. I was going to the stadium and everything. Said, "Okay, you know what you do? Write a review of the games." Okay, so they gave me pen and paper. I sat down, wrote it. They said, you go. The following day, it was in the papers.
Wow.
They called me, they said to come. So I went to see the editor. The editor said, "Young man."
Who was the editor at the time?
Mr. Isaac Eshan. He died recently.
Yeah.
"Young man, I think you've got a job. You have the potential. But if you don't do well, we'll show you the exit." So we will take a seat.
Good.
I had then left the office.
Of course.
And just briefly, we had the office was made up of first school leaders.
Yeah.
So, in fact, our boss, we called him Mobutu. He said, "You people are not serious." Because on Mondays, they'll be discussing the films we watch,
Yeah. At that time, going to the cinema was a big deal.
So, there's a men in war. We were actually young men. And
Yeah.
So the man said, "You people are in the wrong profession. Accounts clerk, we've got to find something better to do." So I told them that I've got an appointment in graphic. But I told Mobutu that I asked permission to go and do something small. And as it is, it's not likely I can come back. So I called the office. They said, "Mobutu is very much annoyed.
Yeah.
And you are not coming." I said, "I'm not coming." So that's it. So I got the
That's
job.
how you got there. Now tell me, the younger generation would every now and then hear references to Ohenijan.
Yeah.
What do you know about Ohenijan and his contribution to Ghana football?
Ohenijan is the greatest sports administrator the nation has had. Yes. In fact, he was very powerful. And then I will give this credit to Nkrumah. He knew how to pick the right people and gave them so much power. Like Ohenijan had so much power, he could do anything.
He used it positively.
Positively, yes.
So who was he? From where?
Ohenijan was a former school teacher, turned cocoa broker, and then he was a football follower. He comes from Abuja, but he lived in Seong.
Okay.
And then he loved sports.
Right.
In fact, he loved sports. So he was in the forefront of this sports organization. He had a lot of...
so within the whole period that Ohenijan was Ohenijan, he lived in Nsawam?
Yes, he lived in Nsawam.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where he has his house. Yes. And that's where he launched, and he gave the name the Black Stars.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, 1960.
Right.
He gave
so he was the administrator, like the GFA boss?
Yeah, he was the executive secretary. Now what happened was that Nkrumah gave him all the powers to do whatever he liked, to make what he said sports or soccer the showpiece of Africa. And Ohenijan was always boasting that he had an executive instrument. It was in his fridge, it was in his safe. He was not going to show it to anybody. Because, Ohenijan was so much, I would call it a dictator. It helped. This formation of Republicans.
Now tell me, what's Republicans?
Ohenijan realized that he said, Real Madrid of Spain, they had the best players around the globe. So he was going to form a model club to represent the nation, so that whenever the Black Stars need, we have more or less a standing team. But the approach was not the best.
So this would be another national team outside of the
it will be a
Black
club,
Stars.
but the national team in disguise.
In your book, you actually made reference to something, the formation of the controversial Republicans. Let me see if I can find that. Or the controversial formation of the Republicans. Yeah.
It was the most controversial decision.
Tell me about it.
So he picked two of the best players from the leading clubs. Baba Yara, Dogomoro from Kotoko, Ofe Dodu Adodamite from Has, Dodran Kra Obite from Olympics, Cornerstones, Ben Champon. Okay, so you got the cream.
So you had, let me just take my time. So you had Cornerstones, you had Hearts of Oak, you had Olympics at the time?
Olympics, yes.
Okay, in the 60s?
The 60s, yeah.
Okay.
We have 11 wives.
Secondly, 11 wives. You have, of course, Kotoko.
Hazakas, yes.
Yes.
Kotoko and Corners, Kumasi.
Yes.
Cape Coast, Venomous Vipers and Dwarfs.
They were all there?
Yes.
Oh, Vipers was there?
Yes, because Venomous Vipers.
Yeah, but we had one in Swedu, Francoba.
Oh, yeah, that was later on. But these are the pioneers.
But when we were young, there was a team called SS74.
Yes, SS74, that later. It was formed by the late General Boachi. That's what.
Okay, I see.
SS74. Yeah, that's later. But the formation of the Republicans, that caused a big controversy. And Asante Kotoko were the foremost. I mean, they fought against it. And they said, no, they were not going to play the league. Ohenijan said, yeah, you're not going to play the league. Okay. So he formed a club, Kumasi, Kumasi United to go and replace
Kotoko.
And hell broke loose. It was a top political decision. So Kobodisa and others, they had to come in and plead. Then after some time, Original said, okay, agree. But for daring to challenge my authority, you will play all your first home matches at Nkoko. So Asante Kotoko played the first round matches at Nkoko.
Which park?
Nkoko Park.
Wow.
The man was so powerful for daring to challenge his decision.
Okay. So then he formed the Republicans. So what did he use the Republicans for?
Yes, he used Republicans to play in the league. They played in the league on non-scoring basis.
Oh.
But if you beat them, you can get the points all right.
Okay.
It means that they can decide which match to.
Yeah.
And there was a deciding match involving Haas and Republicans. And then that match, if Republicans had beaten Haas, means that Kotoko will win the league. So
they did their own thing.
They did their own thing.
And Haas won.
Haas won. And people are saying that it is the first officially sanctioned fixed match in Republican.
But tell me, you keep talking about Kotoko. You know Fabulous. I'm told that this whole Fabulous reference to Kotoko is a making of journalism.
Yeah, it's making of journalism. But I wanted to finish with this Republicans thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Republicans, so eventually, Haas won the match. Then, 2 seasons, the following season, originally decided that, no, this time, they will play on scoring basis. On scoring basis. And that since it's a moderate club, they will use Accra Stadium. In fact, the Republicans were at Swedro. So he said, okay, since it's a moderate club, they have taken Accra Stadium. Olympics and Haas should play a determination match to decide
who take
the other one.
So which was the other stadium?
No, there was only one stadium.
Okay.
So if you
so there are two.
There are 2.
Okay.
We have only 2. So Haas beat Olympics. The Olympics were moved to Tema.
Oh, okay.
Stadium.
Oh, so that's how come Olympics came to be associated with Tema.
Tema, yes.
Okay.
So they went there and were doing so well. No, that's why they got the tag Wonder Club.
Wonder Club, yeah.
Avenger wasn't fair to them. But just a little bit of the Republican story. So eventually, the Republicans team helped because we had it was more or less the national team. And 2 years later, we hosted the Africa Cup and then we won. But the unfortunate aspect was that Baba Yara, so because of Baba Yara, that protocol, we're fighting so much against the formation of Republicans.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate that Yara died in an accident.
Before?
Yes, 24th March 1963, before the Africa Cup. And he was the best player.
No, I have never heard this before. Trust me, man.
Yes.
So Baba Yara, who was originally a Kotoko player,
yes.
One of the best.
One of the best. He was the best in the country.
He had been poached by Hinjan to be part of the Republicans.
He had Dogomoro from Kotoko.
Yeah, Dogomoro, yeah. So both of them were Republicans.
Dogomoro left after 2 years or so.
And we had qualified for the Cup of Nations.
We were good hosting.
Hosted, okay.
But
and
unfortunately,
and he passed in an accident.
Yes. He didn't die in the accident. He was paralyzed. In fact, he was flown. There was a match between Republicans and Pando Mopos at Pando.
Yeah.
So
what team again?
Pando Mopos.
Okay.
Mopos.
Okay.
So that was it. Then they died. There was a curve. I said Peve.
Yeah. So he was coming after the match.
After the match, the whole team was involved in the accident.
Oh, I
and
see.
Unfortunately, according to eyewitness reports, I think Yara was just behind the driver. So when the gate flank opened, people were rushing. So I think they stepped on the spine
Oh no.
And he, to cut a long story short, he was flown to the UK,
United Kingdom, yeah.
United Kingdom, for Stoke Mandeville for spine injury.
Okay.
He was there. We were getting reports that he was doing well, not knowing that he
deteriorated into something.
But there was no way he was going to get up.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that was very
it's one saddest story in the group. But one aspect is that after 3 months on his arrival, I said Baba Yara was coming. So we all went to the airport. We were expecting Baba Yara to be coming to wave him a flag. And I'm saying that's the first time people were not killed for the time. People were rushing to meet the BOAC flight to see Baba Yara. Baba Yara came, then he was on a stretcher.
Wow.
But to cut a long story short, he died later, in May 69.
Okay.
After in a wheelchair. Some pastors said they could shoot him, but there was nothing.
It didn't work out.
So that was the end of the Republicans. But Republicans, were dissolved after the first coup.
Wow. So this is Uncle Ken Bediako telling us the Ghana football story, and I the last time I checked my age, it was more than 50 years, and I'm hearing for the first time how Baba Yara died. Oh, yes. Trust me, I've never, and I follow football, so. But I remember the Robert Mensah one much late, which happened much later. But I'm sure we'll come back to that. That was another sad story in Ghana. I mean, it kept the whole country quiet. As young as I was, I mean, I could feel it as if, Charlie, this is my father. I mean, I woke up and Robert Mensah died, and it's so unbelievable. But we'll come to that one. We'll take a short break. When we come, we'll come to this one. So this is still Footprint. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Footprint, and I'm here with Mr. Ken Bediako, a veritable sports writer of many decades, and he has seen it all. He has written everything there is to be written, not a social media one. He writes something that we can refer to many years after. You were talking about Ohinijan. Now, Ohinijan kind of put the whole construct for Ghana football together by what I have heard and what's your confirmation. Now, how did he end up?
Well, he went out together with the
Osagyefo. When the coup
when the coup came.
That was the end.
That was the end of him. But so people at the press conference, they asked him so many questions. They were asking. They said people don't know the subterranean aspects of. That's the first time I heard that word. It was a very bombastic.
Thank you.
He said the subterranean aspects of.
Thank you. It's a
But there's a very interesting story I want to talk about. It was so powerful. So when he had the nucleus of Republicans, of course, then he was trying to push other players as and when. And there was this interesting story about a player called Modibo Too. He was a Liberian born in Ghana. But he was playing for secondary Hazakas. But Ohinijan felt that he could be an asset. But he was made sure that all the good players. So there was a match between Republicans and Hazakas. And the boy didn't put his weight so much. I think the Hazakas were suspected some foul. So they suspended him. Then Ohinijan nullified the suspension in the national interest and transferred him to Republicans. Then Hazakas raised hell. They threatened to quit the league. Ohinijan said, okay, that's okay, you can quit the league. He brought Ghana Independence. It was a second division team owned by Ambrose Yankee. And Ambrose Yankee was a special assistant to Osagyefo.
That's all.
He brought Independence into the league to take over from where Hazakas had left.
You mean they didn't just start? They just say Hazakas is so maybe number 6 on the thing. So come and
cancel it and put Independence.
Please, is this still your book?
Yes.
before.
So the headline was Modibo
This is the book. Go and look for the book.
Modibo toes Asaka already.
That's all. Now these sports writers all over social media that you there's so much in this book that you need for a reference.
Honestly, I had wanted to update it, but
no, this is enough because me myself, I don't know anything I say. So, good.
So that was the end.
No, the man was powerful.
Yes, was powerful. And but he was, I mean, in his term, we won the cup and defended it.
This is 63, right?
63, yeah.
Did you cover it?
Yes,
as a journalist.
As a journalist, yeah.
Who was the makeup of the Black Stars? You remember some of the names?
Oh, yes, that was when Agrifin and Jodakwa.
Edward Akwa.
Agrifin was the captain, Jodakwa. Adrodamite, Oblite, Krensel, Benachampon, Ofedodu. Yeah, and then Mfum, yeah.
Hey.
And Kwame Adakwa.
We used to hear something from what is so net high.
He broke a net.
Was that true?
Yes, true.
Oh, that he played a shot.
The net.
Just tore apart.
The corner.
The corner there.
1968 or so.
What's the from what is so net high?
Then his colleagues were blaming me, so the net wasn't strong enough. But
wow.
But those days the nets were tight. This time it's so loose.
Yeah. So you can suck the ball in.
Suck the ball.
Wow. So Ghana hosted and won. Yeah. You remember some of the participation nations then?
Oh yes. Well, okay, we beat Sudan 3-0 in the final.
Nigeria was there.
Nigeria was there.
But Nigeria, we beat them easily.
Yeah, but it was 8 teams.
There were 8 teams in all for the Cup of Nations.
Yeah, at the time.
Okay. So how was the Black Stars in the 70s? What was the journey like?
See, the 70s. In fact, we had good players. So it was easy. You could just name them. And the year when Kotoko won the Africa Cup, I think the following year we went to the Olympic Games and we had about 8 of their players in the team. We had very good players at the time, so it wasn't difficult to select the national team. And then they were playing constantly.
Okay.
Like those days when Oblite Krensel for about 5 years. Defense. So when he was naming the team, he said the issue was stubborn defense. The team was named. It was said one o'clock news. The Black Stars for a match. Tomorrow's match? Yes.
They will name.
They will name. Yes. That is the team for the Black Stars for tomorrow's match. They will make it a meal out of the whole.
That's all.
And he believed in ceremonies.
Yeah.
He really wanted to make a captain. That's going back. He wanted to make Mfum a captain. He took him to Nsam. He said Nsam is the birthplace of Black Stars.
Yeah.
You should go there to get inspiration.
So then, at which point did we have the likes of Mohamed Polo, Razak, and the rest coming in?
Yeah. Polo came just when the Agrifins and others were fading. He was an exceptional player. In fact, it was my personal
project.
So I like him so much.
Yeah.
That,
what about Polo?
Polo? I'm talking about Polo.
Yeah, I'm saying, what about him?
Oh yes. The man who do whatever he liked with the ball. And I was in the sports editor graphics, so I formed the Polo fan club.
Wow. So
I was so fond of him that whenever, but I gave him the name Dribbling Magician.
Oh, I see. You did.
Yeah.
Of course. Once you wrote it, the Dribbling Magician.
Agres also some dribbling professor, and then Imran Makun said, "Square of important goals." We were sort of description for him.
Wow.
But no, he was an exceptional player.
So Polo, and then Abdul Razak.
So that's the golden boy.
Yeah.
So
Polo was formerly Hearts of Oak. He started with Hearts of Oak?
Polo. Yeah, she played for Hearts of Oak.
Only Hearts of Oak?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think he was spotted by some scout at Nima. He was playing for Nima Seekers. I think,
one of those. But then how about Razak?
Razak too was playing.
He didn't start with Kotoko.
No. He started with Great Ashanti.
Oh.
Great Ashanti, yeah.
He never played for Cornerstones.
Cornerstone.
Cornerstone.
Great Ashanti was then there.
Yeah.
Cornerstone was more or less feeding ground for Kotoko.
Wow.
So Razak.
So you had Razak, you had Polo, we had
Mama
Kwa, we had Opokunti.
Opokunti came later. No, Opokunti was called Takwa Polo. Takwa Polo.
We had George Al-Hassan.
George Al-Hassan, yes, the Gamanje. They call me Gamanje. No, they have a way of giving.
You know what I remember about George Al-Hassan? He permed his hair.
He was always having problems with goalkeepers. Yes. There was another George Al-Hassan, but he came later on. But the original the Gamanje, he was a photographer, professional photographer at Ministry of Information.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Wow.
And then the Polo's time, then we had Amusa Bademosi, Pele. You know, has in the 70s, they had the Fierson Faison, Peter Lamte, Anas Seidu, Robert Hanbot, Mama and then Polo.
Wow.
We call them Fierson Faison.
Wow.
They were so dominant. You know, after Kotoko had won the Africa Cup, also took up. And then in 77 and 79, they went to the final, but
they
that's
didn't
too
win.
bad.
Yeah, but it was. Now there's a story that we'll be coming to, and I'm sure that being the kind of profession you'll be able to wrap it up properly. It's something that they refer to as the miracle of Elwak.
Oh yes,
the miracle of Elwak.
Miracle of Elwak. Yes.
That was one of the Champions League matches.
Yeah, it was 77.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Uncle, just hold. We'll just take a short break. When we come back, we are going to the miracle of Elwak.
Okay.
And then we'll also go through some of his books, and he'll tell us what he has in these books that, some of them are actually out of print, but if you contact him, he will show you. They're actually out of print. That if this one is out of print, then that's a national disaster. I'm telling you. If it's out of print, I'll make it a personal project. I'm telling you. Anyway, so this is still Footprint with Mr. Ken Bediako. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is still Footprint, and I have Uncle Ken, Mr. Ken Bediako. Charlie, we can do several episodes with Uncle Ken, but this is just a short TV program. So I ended my last segment by talking about what was later referred to as a miracle of Elwak.
Okay.
And it was a miraculous feat, and that's why I guess it was referred to as such. So it was, I remember, I was a kid, so, I remember a Hearts of Oak versus a Zambian team that I still have never been able to pronounce the name. So it was Hearts of Oak versus their counterparts from Zambia. Okay, so tell me the story about this.
So the team was called the Mufurura Wanderers.
Mufurura
Wanderers
from Zambia. From Zambia.
They had won the first match 5-2.
Where? In Zambia.
5-2. And so Haas needed to win by at least by a margin of 3 goals.
With no
without reply to make it. And so the match report from there. We then we had a reporter there. Yeah. We had an exchange with Tanzania, so he went there.
Yeah.
So he wasn't the sports writer at that time, but so he was writing, and the way he brought the report, he said, "Haas were overfed," and that. The breakfast, they were taking tea, butter, but I knew he was exaggerating, but that's for the fun of it. Yeah. So I made the headline, "Overfed Haas."
Mufurura Wonders. Yes.
But myself and my assistant Imana Mwakon, we said we were going to motivate us to win the match. So we started a campaign showing pictures of why we think us are going to win the match.
Which year was this again?
77.
1977. So this will be the closing terms of Kutua Champion.
Yes. So.
And why was it played at Elwak?
It was played at Elwak because Ghana were preparing to host the Africa Cup of Nations in 78.
All right.
So the stadium was occupied, in fact, under renovation. So all the matches were being played at Elwak. That's why we had there. So Haas came, gave them all the motivation. They were going to halftime.
0-0.
0-0. It was tough. But that's where the polo magic came in.
But remember some of the players?
Oh, yes.
If you can take us through some of them. Peter Lamte. Anas Seidu. Robert Hammond. Polo. Mama Akwa. I think Micah. Yeah, the Micah. That was the Micah. Yeah. Is it Teach Micah?
No.
Just Micah.
No, not Teach Micah. It's not the Micah.
Yeah.
So, and Ofeansa. That's the names I can remember.
Okay, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
And the Zambians were there.
And then there was the commentator. I've forgotten his name. Because it was an open place, they were running commentary, and the way he was running the commentary, most of us were even focusing on him. Then about 5 minutes to time, had scored two goals. So the commentator was saying, 5 minutes to time, we see what Accra has can do it. For this one. Then Polo got the ball. Mesmerized. Gave the pass to Anas. That was net. He said, God, we have been beaten. And that was then, I think the commentary was cut.
What, the commentator wasn't Ghanaian?
No. We were on commentary to Zambia.
Oh, yes. Wow.
But, because the Aquac Stadium didn't have any openness. So, and the way he was, there's antics, and everybody was watching him. So that's what he was doing. 5 minutes to
time. And this one happened in the 90th minute, I'm told.
Yes. That's what, the last week.
And Haas just...
That's good.
And that was it.
We were so excited. So then I told Joe, you agree? I said, Joe, you have to write the color aspects of the match. So I'll write the full report. Because Polo has masterminded the whole thing. So we went to the office. For about 15 minutes, I couldn't write the intro. I changed. Then my senior Yabachi, he said, look, it's because of Polo. You can't write the story. You want to. So I was thinking, I had read something somewhere in the 66 when the Tottenham Hotspurs, they made up the English team. And then we said, England is Spurs. So I wanted to make something like Polo is Haas. So that to build the intro from there. Yeah. Okay, I'll change it. Then eventually I managed to write the story.
Do you have any of your clips? Some of these publications?
No, I don't.
Okay, good. Now, so this will be 77, and then 82, we won again. Is that correct? Cup of Nations.
Yes. That's
Libya.
That was my.
And you covered that?
Last, yes. It's very, very interesting.
Tell me about that story.
That was the early days
of the revolution. That's the revolution, yeah.
And in fact, Ghana, we were not going to take part, even though we had qualified. We were not going to take part because the Liman administration at that time said Libya, that man is a terrorist, that kind of thing. So we were not too sure whether we'd be going, even though we had qualified.
Okay.
So it's when Rollins took over. Then they gave it
because the man, that terrorist was Rollins' man.
Yes, was man. So we said we should go. And then we had the press call.
Yeah.
Myself, Benny Gunn, Harry Thompson, Eric Bakunyaba, and then GNA, Nikwe, and then Ohinba Charles, and then myself.
Ohinba Charles.
And myself from graphic. We were going to go in an Libyan aircraft. a cargo plane. And that was the first time I had gone to huge edifice, very dark. But at the back, we had 12 seats. So we went there without air tickets, no money, nothing. Instead, we should go. In fact, when Charles wanted us to, because we were there at the airport, nobody was telling us anything at the airport station. So we said, let's go, because this thing, Libya, it could be an adventure. So let's go. So eventually we went. Back in the night, we were there.
So you sat in the cargo plane?
Cargo plane, yes, for the first time. Cargo plane. Yeah, but...
It had cargo inside?
No, it was empty.
Empty plane?
Empty.
But they will shake? I don't like certain so.
No, but it was empty because we don't know what they brought. That the suspicion was that they brought something. So it was empty. And then,
okay. Well, obviously. And now I get the context.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so they were bringing things.
They were bringing things. So they said we should go. That's all. We traveled with that money. No, I think it's okay. So we went. It was an adventurous chapter. I wanted to. We had enjoyed ourselves. In fact, we had a very nice place. Hotel, but no money. So.
Now, how did you come back? Same cargo plane?
Yes. So eventually, when we won the match. Then they said the presidential jet was going to pick the players. So they brought the presidential jet, but it wouldn't take all of us. So they got Aeroflot for us. Aeroflot tickets.
Yeah, that's the Russian at the time, Russian national airline, Aeroflot.
Bamako, and then.
Wow. That one too is another one.
But very interesting. I mean, the story, Harry Thompson, was very, very funny. You know, after the first round, we went to Benghazi.
Yeah.
But
from Tripoli.
From Tripoli to Benghazi. So, you know, we didn't have anything. So, but they had taken our passports there, you know, so normally, the hotel. So the hotel man didn't know. So after, the following day, we were getting ready together, and I think he was questioning something about payment to pay. Then Harry Thompson was standing there. He asked the man, said, what is he saying? Look, as for us, we don't pay. We're from Ghana. Whole plane
came to pick us.
Came to pick us. We don't pay. Give us our passports.
Oh, good. That was an experience.
Oh, yeah, very nice experience. So we went and we won the cup. And
the finals was between Ghana
and Libya.
And Libya, as usual.
As usual. And that was when we had Usman. The Masri goalkeeper.
Yeah. He was the third goalkeeper.
When we went, surprisingly, John Baker and Carr, the report we had from the coaches, they had suddenly lost form.
So at the time, this is 82. Between 80 and 80, we had goalkeeper Carr, who was on top.
Yes, Carr, goalkeeper. And then John Baker.
He was also from Hazakes. I think Central or Western region.
Originally Drafts and then Hazakes.
So goalkeeper Carr from Drafts and Hazakes.
And then Baker to Wise. What's one of the best?
Oh, the story is too sweet. So you had the fancy people there, John Baker, goalkeeper Carr.
Then Mensan, he was for corners. He was the number 10.
Ben Owusu Mensah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like the...
No, he was just, because the goalkeeper, by all means, they must have a reserve. Yeah. So he was there as a reserve.
So now they got there and realized that the first
he became the cornerstone of the team. Wow. From corners to...
Wow.
Yeah. So we won the cup and came back.
And did he do anything in particular?
He saved 2 penalties. In fact, it was a shootout. Penalty shootout against Libya.
Wow. So Ghana, Libya, 0-0. Yeah. End of game, and then penalties. And then the man just catch the thing like that. Wow.
I think it was 1-1.
1-1, okay. Okay, well, it was good. So now that would be 82.
82, yeah.
So this will define your official exit from...
Yes.
Why did you leave?
You
were still young.
Yeah, still young. You know, those were the blood and thunder days.
As you refer to Black and Tender days.
Yes. So,
but you were just you are a sports writer. So
surprisingly, they decided that many of the senior officers should be transferred for no reason. In fact, then the transfer was 24 hours.
But you're not speaking the revolution language.
Yes.
You're not writing Eastern philosophy.
So I decided that I wouldn't go. But what happened was that I was going to be transferred to Sunyani as a regional something. But then we had regional managers there. So they realized that my salary was higher than the so-called. So they withdrew the letter and then gave me another one. They just wanted me to go by all means. So I said, these people are not sincere. Those were the PDC days. So I said, I don't know anything about newspaper distribution. So
PDC and all these people can disturb us. They'll be sharing Gary and those things.
So I said, no. So I left. In fact, I gave a short notice and I lost 3 months' salary. Yeah. Because I realized that you were not sincere. I mean, we want me to leave.
Yeah.
So I said.
So when you left Daily Graphic as a sports, you left as a sports editor, right?
Sports editor, yes.
But you still have been very vocal in this sports journalism thing.
Yes.
Post 82.
Post 82.
From there, where did you go?
In fact, incidentally, Yao Bewa had then been made chairman of Pokotoko. So I sold an idea to him that he could have a club paper. He bought the idea. So I had this Kotoko Weekly for him. And he did well. Luckily, the following year, Kotoko won the cup. No, he won the cup in his. Yeah. So I was doing this for Kotoko.
Okay, so you did it for how long?
Yeah, for 2 years, up to the term of Yabewa. Then I became a freelance.
Right.
So
from that period up until now, how do you describe the changing faces of Ghana football?
See, we were doing well up to 1992 when we won the junior
championship.
In fact, Sarah Mensah, he was then the minister of sports. He was so excited that he said he was going to turn that team into Republicans. In fact, he was saying, "Oh, fine." So Mati, people don't know the present circumstances anyway. But since then, okay, incidentally, I was made a member of the Bastards Management Committee. Bastards and Meteors. So I took the team to Barcelona in 1982.
Oh, okay.
Incidentally, we won. We won the bronze, football bronze. But the changing phases, I think there are too many people having vested interest in.
Do you think switching to professionalism, or what we call professionalism,
that professionalism is just a name?
It's just a name.
Oh, just a name. No, there's no professionalism. But people even don't proper accounting. That's why when they ask for sponsorships, no decent company will just decide money without knowing how the clubs run.
Yeah.
Now, out of 18 clubs or so, I think you have 16 or 17 privately owned clubs.
There what?
Privately owned.
Yeah.
How are you going to bring enough back? When those days you had things like 11 Wise and Hazakers are playing. Even Bay United.
But 11 Wise.
Wasn't sure Wise.
My memory serves me correctly. At some point, Blemieza took over.
Oh, yes.
When he introduced the song,
Akarakachi. Yeah.
Akarakacho.
As for Blemieza, it was a character. He went to the stadium with money in the bank.
With the money in the bank?
Yeah, money, yeah. So when we finish, we take it. He doesn't want it. We can't share.
No, but he made 11 Wise so attractive.
Yes, he did. He took the whole team to Brazil.
Yeah.
And when he came, he's a wonderful character. No, because I dealt personally with him.
Oh, really?
He promised to give the SWAG some money. Sports Writers Association.
Yes, Sports Writers Association.
To fence. So me, Joe Agri, and then Eric Sebu, we went to his office. They were going to give us 100,000 So he gave me a check to write. So pay swag. Then he stamped it and gave it to us. When he stepped out, I felt it wasn't long enough. I paid 100,000. So I looked at it and had written 100 cities instead of 100,000. So we went back to him. Then he was laughing. Then he gave me another check. I wrote 100,000 this time, no mistake. But the man has money because I was serving on the Olympic Committee. He gave us a check of $80,000.
At the time?
At the time, it went through. We opened an account in London. So
which year is this? This will be before the revolution.
Oh, yes.
Because the revolution will not entertain this kind of thing.
Before the revolution.
Okay. Wow. Well, it's been a journey. So at times when you see maybe Ghana in the tournament and you watch, what thoughts run through your mind?
We're going round in circles because if now luckily we have this under 17 and under 20. No, this was an idea by Haviland. This youth World Cup. Because he realized that we in the third world we are at a disadvantage. I mean, you have to be in the blaster before we are exposed to the international audience. So if you start at the age of 17, you play a World Cup.
Okay, at least it gives you exposure.
But now we have started cheating.
Oh, we're cheating?
That's not happening, yes. If the man is 23, we say he's 17.
We're cheating?
Yes.
They were putting overage players inside. That's why their face has grown like that. You see somebody say he's 16, meanwhile he's having outdooring the next week.
and somebody will be younger than a younger brother. I mean, this is...
Again, thank you so much for your time, man. So, Charlie, Uncle Ken, you blow your cover, Charlie. Growies, you go and then they have something called football age, Charlie.
Football age.
The man, all his classmates have finished university. The man says he's 14 years. Meanwhile, after the tournament, 2 years after the tournament, his son is graduating from school.
By some calculation, one of the players was by 11 years at the time he played for it.
Say again?
So it was 11 years.
Aye!
Because...
Anyway, people, so this has been Footprints with Mr. Ken Bediako. He's a through and through sports journalist with particular interest in football. And he has this book, The Complete History of Ghana Football League, 1958 to 2012. I think it's a book that every sports lover in Ghana should have. Is it still in print?
No,
but you don't have some available?
But few copies with Fifi Banson. Has few copies in his.
With Fifi Banson, but it has to. You have to reprint this.
After I was going to update it in 2018, when the Ghana League were 50 years, but that's why we had this thing.
Oh, good. Anyway, thank you so much for your time.
I'll give you a copy. Good.
Thank you. I will get to own a copy. You think that this job is easy. Thank you for joining us. My name is Samuel Atawensa. This has been Footprints.